Morning, folks. JC Ozark Bushman here. I want to talk about the one tool option. A lot of survivalists have their own preference for knives and everything, but there's two knives that are highly recommended by survivalists such as Tom Brown Jr., who designed the tracker knife design, which is also a one tool option type knife. Is you got this part here, can be used for the chopping aspect. You can also use this to choke up and use it like a ulu, like one of those Alaskan knives to skin. Here's for your finer task right here. This is for like more your carving. You could scale fish with it. You could also use it to scrape bark or make feather sticks like this if you wanted to. I've used this one last weekend, and this thing is awesome. This one's made by Bobcat Knives. I only paid like $60 for it. It's D2 steel, and this is not a saw. People get confused. This is actually made for notching, making notches. And I even like kind of used it to clear a little brush a little bit because it's got a pretty good length to it with some good aggressive jimping. And I also own the Tom Brown Tops brand tracker, and I paid $200 for it. Great knife, 1095 carbon, but you don't have to spend $200 to get a tracker knife. Like, I actually would prefer to carry this one. It's got heft, but it's not as heavy as the Tom Brown tracker. The Tops one is like really heavy. Like, I wouldn't want to carry it on a backpacking trip, as it just will weigh your belt down. It's a nice knife, don't get me wrong. I bought it because I wanted it. But you can get one, a good one, for like around $50, $60. There's different steel options you can buy. I highly recommend it. And then Alan Kay, he was a survivalist on the first season of Alone that won. And he recommends the kukri, which is also a one tool option. This is actually the K-Tat kukri that Alan Kay designed with Condor. I had to get this one. I own like 4 kukris, and then I've got 3 trackers of different brands. And this one here is kind of pricey. He's going to run you about $130, but you can also get like the classic Nepalese ones, the traditional ones, for a lot cheaper. A good one to run you about $100 maybe. But one thing how this is a one tool option too is this part here is your chopping, and then you can do your finer task here, and you can also kind of choke up a little bit here if you had to with that ricasso and do some finer tasks. But one thing I like about the kukri is the fact that it has more reach for like a machete. It's like a hatchet, machete, and a knife all in one. So I just want to share that with you folks, that these are the two that I recommend and a lot of famous survivalists recommend for a one tool option. Get yours today, folks. Let me know what you think.